Hello, hello, and welcome back everyone to War on the Sea as the US Navy. We are starting today, of course, exactly where we left off, which is where we dropped off some extra reinforcements to Guadalcanal. We have 6.6 thousand troops and 14.8 thousand supplies on there, as well as some engineering and fuel to get ready to upgrade the airfield when that is eventually ours. We do have some supplies, some roughly 4,000 troops and a few thousand supplies coming over from Australia, but if we take our current course over here, that's still going to take 37.5 hours from the current destination to get there. So we'll see how the balance of power changes in those hours oncoming there. Well, hopefully with the balance of power standing at roughly 50-50 now, it starts pushing in our favour there. Going to start off with a bit of an announcement as well. I have moved into a different room for recording, just with how we've got our layout in our house working. So the audio may be a little different. I am planning on getting some acoustic panels to help out. I'm also in the company of the same room as this lovely young person. That is Commander Blinky in all her glory. So with that out of the way, let's carry on. Today there's no particular aim other than get our large supplies over here onto Guadalcanal and ready to reinforce there. Of course, we'll scout around and see what we can do about that previously cited double Yamato, double Fuso and Congo group scouting around Milne Bay. That is of course threatening our supplies over there, with the aim of upping this to at least a level 2 airfield fairly soon. We do need some more engineering and fuel on there though to do so, and then we'll start trying to upgrade Port Moresby to a level 3 airfield as well, for some more natural command point gain and sight, and of course air power in those regions. So let's get going, see what we can do today. Alright, see everyone, so Task Force Thunder has been caught unawares at 18:22 hours. With that, the visibility is actually 50% with a sea state of 4. We have a minor enemy task force, but I don't feel exactly equipped to deal with this. Although, we actually know, looking at it, so we have more than I thought we do here. We have an Alba, an Oedo, and what appears to be a Takao over here, escorted by a couple of destroyers. So we absolutely are equipped to deal with this, but we are very, very close range, I believe. Let's take a better look. No, that's actually further than what it looked on the strategic map there. We're 19.8 kilometers away from them, which is absolutely brilliant, which means we should negate some of the destroyers' range at least. We'll double check what the Oedo's range was. I believe that was greater than we had hoped previously. What we'll do is double check our own destroyers range then. Let's see, we have a range of 15.9, that's absolutely fine. What about Oedo's here? 27.4, so they're certainly in range. It just means we can't fire out with our own destroyers to get any star shells out at the moment. We have issued some firing orders, and we are going to hard to starboard over here just to get some decent broadside fire off there. Focusing mostly on the Alba, and I will take the Astoria and just make sure we identify the Takao properly here. Excellent, and that will help our solution out greatly. We are on narrow spotting at the moment. We'll take our Warrington over here just to identify this ship. That is in fact an Akazuki. Let's see what else we have, shall we? It's quite likely Akazuki's across the board. That's certainly another one to do that. So there's a lot of rapid fire coming out of these enemy destroyers. Not the greatest of torpedo threats in themselves, but of course with the amount of destroyers they have, we'll certainly start seeing some torpedoes coming our way. That does bring some good volume towards us. Can't see our own splashes just yet. It's interesting. Should we double check we are absolutely firing? We certainly are. We see enemy star shells coming out as well. Going to increase our speed with the Savannah here, and we'll increase the speed with the Gridley as well, just to move around. Astoria can do the same. Move out over here. Very much hindered by the Colorado's own horrible speed. We'll do a turn to port over here, shall we? This waypoint, and the Warrington can back that up as well. O'Bannon could probably turn out as well. Just want to spread out our ships so that we don't take quite so much concentrated fire just yet. How we're doing. We do have some pretty decent solutions here. Let's take spotting off of there, so we can shoot to kill. Are we taking any direct hits so far ourselves? Doesn't appear so. Enemy doesn't appear to either though. We'd certainly help ourselves out by firing some star shells ourselves, wouldn't we? So Colorado does not carry any in their secondary mounts. What about Savannah? You do not have the range of these secondaries, unfortunately. That's unlucky. Do we take star shells on our main calibers? We certainly do. I'm just going to fire out a quick salvo of those then. Looks like we're not exactly firing for some reason though with our main guns. We do have a... There we go, just reloading through. Is that going to fire out? Yes, we are. Absolutely brilliant. So we'll fire out a few volleys of those and we can turn back to AP. Just not seeing anything really land towards the enemy is the problem. Well, there's a few. Okay, I think that should be fine for now. Come back here. We do have a pretty decent solution going up to 90 there, and there are some shots landing. Take a report. Haven't done any damage to them just yet, so we do have pre-existing damage on our own ships. Looks like our own formation is doing okay. What we'll do is we'll turn in a little with O'Bannon, but we will slow down our speed a tad. We will increase it more than the Colorado, but that can then provide some sort of sonar coverage, can't it? Although it will be going straight into the enemy formation there. How are we looking with the Colorado over here? Taking a few direct hits here onto the funnel especially, not good. Limited with speed as much as we are already. Okay, so it's looking like the Oido and the Alba have taken some good explosions onto the bow of the Oido. We have noticed that the number 2 turret over here from the Alba is not functioning as expected, which is excellent. That's with the facing they have, that has completely halved their firepower there. That is brilliant. Of course, generally it's 2/3 in total, or 1/3 rather. I don't know why I can't count, but because of this previous gun over here. It is dead in the water though, which is very interesting indeed, and actually that is sinking, so we are getting the hits we want, just not noticing them so much. Let's get some spotting fire out onto the Takao, and our Savannah can start onto some of the destroyers. We'll double check our ranges as well. Let's get onto this Akizuki first. HE spotting will do just fine there, and we are in range there for our secondary, so I'd imagine that our destroyers are in range to aid that. We certainly are. Let's get some spotting fire out there. Astoria is firing onto Takao, that's absolutely fine. We are looking at number 4 over here. Let's just focus fire, shall we? The Warrington should be great for that, and that should be brilliant. O'Bannon probably wants some orders as well. Let's get out some star shells here. We're not facing with the greatest amount of guns. Let's slow down our speed quite slowly here because we're not under fire here. Savannah is under fire. It's taking some hits, but nothing too major, and with one heavy cruiser down, that does diminish the firepower quite a bit. Looks like we're getting on top of the pre-existing damage here, but we do have some fire and flooding. In fact, we're just about to get on top of the flooding with the Colorado there. We will want to just move in a tad, just so that we do change our course and speed to avoid some fire. We'll make sure we are okay with the Savannah here. We have widened out a little bit to get our rear guns firing there. Might want to do that just a little bit, and we'll try and keep an eye on that as we move on. Looks like the Akizuki is taking some hits. This is a smoke from fires, and it does take a small list there, which is excellent. That's not just from the turn. No sign of any torpedoes being fired off just yet. How's that Takao looking? Still not looking too bad. Let's take a report. Takao is minor to minor. That's absolutely fine. It will accumulate, and we do have the Oido on heavy to moderate, which is excellent. Take a closer look at that. Yeah, look at the fires and midships there. That is absolutely brilliant to see. Do see our star shells coming out now to help out with our general solutions, which is brilliant. Savannah does have a good solution onto that Akizuki, so we're going to fire to hit rather than spotting. Taking some shots now onto the Warrington, are we? So we're just going to zig around with that. Just give it some sort of manoeuvres, and we can change its speed up and down. Colorado, I think we're going to turn out once again here, so we do get all of our guns firing. We're going to turn back in with the Savannah as well. Just very gradually there. Astoria, how are you looking? Looks like we're not firing how I want because of our current positioning. That's absolutely fine. We just need to turn in for that. We're starting to get there now. Just reloading with our front two guns here. Will they fire out? Let's have a look. Once the reload's gone through there. Yes, we absolutely are. That's brilliant. So we're going to give that a waypoint over here. Gridley can follow up here, so there's no collisions. Savannah, let's double check your damage. Absolutely fine at the moment. Taking a couple glancing shots there. Nothing too major. This Akizuki is under a lot of fire. We see the number 2 turret disabled as well, which is excellent. Not all that can facing us with its current positioning, but it's still something nonetheless. How's that Takao looking now? Still not taking anything too nasty, unfortunately. We do need to remember that our Colorado is turning away, so we'll get back to that. Give it a hard to starboard there. That's excellent. Warrington is fine. Philadelphia, you can actually slow down your speed a little bit there. Probably wants to go back to spotting on that Oido there. That Oido is looking very nasty indeed. Bannon probably wants to fire some HE. We can actually start firing onto the number 5 Akizuki here. What we can do is turn out as well. Well, we're still taking our sweet time in sinking these two cruisers. The Oido is on its last legs and that will go down, but the Takao is not looking any different. And looking at our positioning, we are getting run down by this Akizuki here. So what we're going to do is just quickly change our targets for the minute and target our main guns onto this Akizuki here, including the Colorado's guns, just to make sure that goes down quickly. We will just train our guns onto target there. Savannah is going to be firing at the Oido. The fires have cleared up there. Astoria is also firing that with a decent solution. Yeah, ammunition is looking decent. How's this Colorado looking towards that Akizuki? Let's fire out. Gets a spotting fire to begin with, of course. Now that won't do too much damage in and itself, but because it's so close, it does reduce the firepower against us, of course. Should have an easy time hitting that. Of course, once we build up our solutions, I don't know why we're not hitting that bloody Takao though, because we've had good solutions on that for quite some time now. Despite not having star shells out for the majority of the battle. Of course, we are held up by our good radar. Take off the spotting and shoot to hit now. Philadelphia does need to turn around to bring all of its guns to bear, that's fine. Warrington is taking some hits. We're going to move some damage control parties over to fires. Just narrowly missing there, the Akizuki. But still not quite where we want to be with that. It's quite a painstaking attack here. We're going to get the Savannah and the O'Bannon onto this Akizuki as well. We actually haven't identified that as such yet. That's absolutely fine. We can focus on other things. Get the O'Bannon there as well. And how is the O'Bannon looking damage-wise? It's actually not too bad at the moment. Just because this one's close and threatening our destroyers as such here, Oido should really succumb to those fires and floodings. Take another report. Critical damage to heavy flooding. That should go down soon. You would have thought. Let's move down with our Astoria to regroup. And of course get some more guns to bear. How are we doing with Colorado now? On top of the existing fires and such, but our funnel over here and our director are completely knocked out. We might think about sending this home to the dockyard to repair. How's that Akizuki looking though? Incoming shots. dodging, ducking and weaving. We're not quite going to hit that, unfortunately. Yeah, not quite there with that, so we might have to call this quits and retreat out soon. We have supplies to get to Guadalcanal. Looks like these guns not operational. It's taking a nasty hit there across the bridge. Bannon's on more fires over here. Very, very nasty indeed. Let's take this off and go over to the fires here. Guns are still operational. Just the massive volume of fire out of these auto-loading Akazuki guns. It's taking some good hits now though, which is excellent. Oh, there's a massive hit there. Massive, massive hit. That must have been from our light cruiser. Yeah, huge volume of fire coming in there finally. Getting somewhere, are we? So how are we looking over on this Akazuki? It could be better. Could be better for us. Takao is, of course, retreating here. It might have to let that be the case. Primary target is, of course, at Oida. Akazukis will let go down. And then we'll call it quits from there, I think. And there we go, did sink those 3 ships. Unfortunately, the Takao not under the concentrated fire that we probably should have put us under, and did decide to retreat then. We did decide to come out as well. Absolutely fine with that. So that Takao shall retreat on the grand scheme of things, on the strategic map. And we do come out of that with a good 8 command points. Do have to think, I think we can leave the Colorado in at the moment. It does suffer at 70% total speed, but that shouldn't be a massive hit considering the speed is fairly low anyway. We shouldn't notice that too much. So that's absolutely fine. We'll come back to rearm at Rennell Island. We might want to reinforce this with another heavy cruiser or even a destroyer or 2. 3 destroyers, probably not the best for submarine defense there, so we'll bring in another later on, I think. Well guys, bringing up the rear of our escaping supply ships from Guadalcanal, the hunters have been engaged out of nowhere at 1918 hours. And we can see the enemy right in front of us. We have paused because we're under pressure here. We haven't actually spotted them on the map yet, which does mean we're under a lot of pressure to make some maneuvers. Make some maneuvers we're going to have to, because we can see, if just over here where my cursor is, we will press play so we can move over. You can see a Nagato over there is what it looks like, and some good light and heavy cruisers. It is, by the looks of it, yeah, full 10 stack over here, which is very, very nasty indeed. Let's just take a second to identify everything. And there we go, so we have also issued some movements and firing orders to everything in one. Got both of our battleships focusing the Nagato over here, both of our heavy cruisers focusing the Miyoko over here. Go to transition those over to the Mogami, and we have 3 Oidos over here, which we currently have no one firing at. We're focusing all of our smaller guns onto a single Akazuki, just to get that down as quickly as possible, reduce any torpedo threats, and of course these also reloading guns over here will bring some nasty damage to bear against our own destroyers. Of course, the main aims are the heavier guns, so the Nagato and the 2 heavy cruisers. We'll see how that goes though. We are 8.1 kilometers away from that Nagato with our New Jersey, to put this into perspective. So nasty, nasty stuff. We are currently on spotting. We will change that once our solutions increase, but it looks like we're going to instantly be losing the Hillary P. Jones over here. Once we have lost our torpedoes because of the fire. That's unfortunate. We're going to, of course, launch out torpedoes where possible. Manually fire roughly in their direction. We will want to move out with our New Orleans here. How are we doing over here? We've lost our front gun already. That's lovely. Let's get someone to deal with that, I think, if possible. I think maybe we'll get onto the floods and such first, actually. It's probably a better idea. Rather nasty there. Of course, let's get off of spotting. Alright, here, how are we looking with that Nagato? Do we have any hits on that? Looks like we do. You can see some smoke coming out. Excellent stuff. I'd love to see their guns get knocked out that quickly, though. That's rather nasty. New Jersey is, of course, taking some flooding, as we've seen. This Hillary P. Jones is down already pretty much, which is rather something, actually. Going to increase our speed with the porter to bring out, and look at the fires on New Jersey already. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. There's not a lot we can do about that with all of our crews already working hard. Going to slow down with Benson here quite a bit, and we're going to keep our speed up with the Samson to come round and try and get some torpedoes out towards the enemy again, because one spread is just not going to cut it. What am I doing here against Nagato? It is slowing down by the looks of things. Huey P. Jones is sinking. Okay. Okay, let's hold with our Montana for now, as that enemy battleship is going very, very slowly indeed. We're going to get a mangle shot out here, just like that. Travel time should not be a lot, so we'll keep firing automatically there. See how that lands. Should be too far away, but of course our straddling is never ideal. Yeah, very nice hit there with something. Good, good. Some great bow fires. And that's actually pretty much stopped. So we're going to hold again. 8 knot speed. Hopefully that decreases. Doesn't look like it just yet. So we will turn up here. Fire again. How are we doing with New Jersey? Let's have a look. We might just want to escape. Yeah, look at all of that damage. They're certainly focusing this down. Certainly focusing this down. Look at that Nagato though. Might well be very close to sinking there. That is going down. That is excellent. Some excellent focus fire there. So we can't celebrate too quickly though. We need to get a broadside going with our Atlanta, which can bring up over here. That is going at max speed. Samson can go round a bit here. Mustin can go round there. Montana can now focus the Myoko as well. Let's get some spotting immediately onto that. We have lost, of course, our secondaries there. New Jersey, not looking great. We can't fire our starboard side secondaries, unfortunately. We need to change over, I think, to Mogami with this, if possible. Thank you very much. How are we looking over here? Do we think it's safe to fire out torpedoes? Not quite. I don't think they've travelled quick enough to come round of our Iowa-class battleship there, unfortunately. How is that Akazuki looking? Now that we are focusing, it's taking basically no hits. That's exactly what I'd like to see. Oh dear. How's Atlanta look with that then? Not great. Maybe we do want to get some star shots. Like, yeah, the visibility is 34%. It's absolutely terrible. New Orleans then doesn't have its starboard side secondaries available. Mustin can fire out some full star shells there. I think what we'll do is we get Samson going into a central line here as well. Let's go for Mogami and star shells. Torpedoes not looking too great here, unfortunately. I'm looking against that Myoko here. Getting some hits there. Getting some hits. With the Montana firing on that, that should be looking a lot better. Really hope our New Jersey... Oh, magazine explosion! That is absolutely brilliant. We're taking our Montana then, and that is going to go over to the Mogami. We can keep peppering that with Myoko with our Pensacola, of course. Whoever did that shot, gunnery ace. Absolutely a gunnery ace there. And that might well be sinking very soon, as you would bloody hope so. Are our star shells landing? Yes, they are, and the Myoko is indeed sinking. Excellent. Let's take our Pensacola then, and that can fire onto a light cruiser. Let's fire onto the number 2 oiler over here. AP spotting, thank you very much. Your secondaries are looking good, so we'll fire some more star shells. Mustin can start firing once again, I think, onto the Akazuki over here. Do some spotting. Who else is firing star shells? I'm not too sure. Let's increase our speed over here. Get the Samson now to fire out some torpedoes. We'll fire out generally in this direction. New Jersey, how are you looking? Could be better, could be better. It's just so much to keep on top of though, and we're not quite anywhere near dealing with these fires, so it's just going to spread at the moment. We are, however, working on... Oh, Porter suffers magazine explosion. Very nasty. So that's another one down for us. Rather unlucky there. Rather unlucky indeed. Let's get some smoke up here to help us out. Atlanta also has torpedoes, let's remember. We are facing the port side, so deactivate starboard and get some more torpedoes in. To be honest, they're moving away, aren't they, with the majority of their formation. I don't think torpedoes from this angle are going to help. Mogami suffers magazine explosion as well. That is excellent. You should hope that will go down very soon. That's all of these guns out of action, which is brilliant. In that case, we're going to take our Montana over to... what order would be best? Perhaps this one, as its guns are firing there. AP spotting. Not firing on number 4 order because none of its guns really have a good angle on our major ships there, which is good. New Jersey is getting there. Mogami is sinking. Excellent. So we're making something of this. Let's go to Pensacola then. Porter's sinking, of course. New Orleans. Oh, you might well be sinking soon as well. That's rather nasty. Get on. Yeah, that's quite likely going to go down, actually. Let's try and get onto this Akizuki. Just because it's close. We might have to think about a retreat ourselves here, actually. It may have to be it. Yeah, I think smoke for everyone. And try and turn away and retreat. God, this situation untenable. All forces retreat, and that's rather unlucky. Despite getting those massive hits in quite early as well to the enemy. But primary objective is achieved, and we will move away. Well, a very Pyrrhic retreat out of that. It looks like we're quite close to destroying that number 10 Akizuki and perhaps one of the Oidos over there, but I don't think that's really worth losing a further New Orleans and maybe even losing the New Jersey there. That was very, was a lot of damage very, very quickly there, is what we're trying to say, and we're certainly going to be sending that back home, I think. We're certainly going to be sending the New Orleans home as well as the Benson. So that's a lot of ships we've got to send home. A lot of potential firepower lost in that particular battle, unfortunately. We did gain 11 command points, so we can put those to some sort of use later on. That certainly puts us on the back foot for the meantime. So back onto the strategic map. Let's retreat once again over here and see what we can do. Hopefully we're safe out of that. So at 15:51 hours on the next day, Task Force 8, consisting of the New Jersey, Mustard and New Orleans, have returned to the New Hebrides, ready for release and repair. Let's send those in and see how our dockyard is looking now. It's looking very full is how it's looking. 16 days for the New Jersey to come out. Where are we with the New Orleans? Is going to take 21 days. That's a lot of time there. And the Mustard's going to take 13, of course. We still have 3 days to wait for our New Mexico and a Sims and Fletcher here. 4 days for Illinois. Actually not too bad on that at all. That should be just in time perhaps for our new resupply days. So that's going to be very interesting indeed. And you can see across the board we have another Iowa here in the dockyard as well. So we're certainly on strategically the back foot at the minute for having ships and firepower out in the waters. However, our current total losses are largely destroyers still, so that's not so bad. A lot of Fletchers there, lots of Bensons as well, because we have been favouring them. And enemy losses do still stand quite highly. Recently we have of course picked up, as a reminder, Nagato, Myoko, Mogami, 2 Akizukis, Oido, Alba, more Akizukis there. So that's not so bad. And we did actually destroy Sashio as well as a Fubuki previously, but those would have been in previous battles on previous episodes. Total enemy ships sunk 134, so we can't complain too hard, can we? This is, of course, a challenge campaign. This does, of course, mean that Task Force Thunder does have to bring out the rear and escort our large supplies over to Guadalcanal. Task Force Thunder has been reinforced by the Afridi over here and an Australia. I thought I'd bring in our, British and Commonwealth counterparts here and try and get some use out of them. They're not necessarily bad. Australians do bring out some very good armour, and actually I do quite like the usefulness of these destroyers as well. So that's excellent there. We are going to try and push in and get more boots onto Guadalcanal. It looks like it might still be pushing against our favour there. Not a lot of attrition has happened, but I can't really see any difference with that balance of power from where we last looked. So this incoming reinforcing troops and such should turn the tide definitely in our favour there. And there we go, early on the next day our large supply group has made it to Guadalcanal. Let's unload all cargo here and see how the balance of power looks now. That is much, much better, very solidly in our favour there. We're going to retreat out of that and we shall call that a day there, I think, ladies and gentlemen. Looking much, much better. 13,000 troops with 16,500 supplies on Guadalcanal. Very much in our favour there. Let's retreat out with our supplies, of course. In fact, we shall send these back, I think, to Australia, down here for now, and we'll reload these supplies because they may have been a little bit forgotten about there. We were going to focus engineering and fuel, weren't we, here? So let's try and get as much of that out as possible. Let's see, we have more engineering, I believe, down here in the cairns. We certainly do, so let's come down here and pick that up. Well, a few hours have passed on that same day and we've managed to sight a very daring enemy carrier task force over here. At least it's suggested it's a carrier task force. We've launched a Kingfisher from Task Force Thunder to go and have a look at that. We will mark it up very quickly because we'll lose sight after this engagement over here. Mark that up as carrier and have a quick look at that, shall we? So what do we see? That does look like carriers to me. Or no, okay, interesting. We have another Nagato. Seeming to favour these at the moment are the enemy. What do we have? A Nagato, Takao, Alba, okay, and of course more Oidos once again, as well as Akizuki. So it's not the carrier we're expecting. So there's some good news in that, and I think we could probably take that on. I don't know actually, because I would like a second battleship here. It's going to be a toughie. It's very much going to be a toughie. We'll change this to a battleship denotation though, but unfortunately guys, that is going to have to be it for today. I am running out of time, I'm sorry to say. So I do hope you have enjoyed the video. Hopefully this will be a little quicker, shorter than previous videos for you to take in. It's still looking good as the clock's ticked over there on Guadalcanal, which is brilliant to see. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video and I shall see you in the future. May all of your nights and days be auspicious. Goodbye.